Welcome to today's webinar with America's Tooth Fairy. Thank you so much for your time to join us for this special presentation today. This is Katie at UCSF Oral Health Technical Assistance Center. And I'm happy to introduce Jill, Executive Director from America's Tooth Fairy, to share so you guys can view it later. If your colleagues aren't able to make it today, we do want to make this accessible. We are working on a website that we will be posting webinars and having them for review. During the presentation, there's going to be a chat box over on the right-hand side of your screen. If you have questions, please go ahead and just type in your question, and then once Jill and her team are done presenting, we'll be able to answer them one by one. As a reminder, when you guys are entering, you guys are going to be muted. If you're not muted, we're hearing some background noise. If you guys can go ahead and mute your phones.
I have to actually.
And if you're on your computer, you guys on the bottom part of your screen, there's going to be a range of options for you. On the far left is going to be a mute button. If you can go ahead and just switch on to mute, we can make sure that we can really hear Jill and her team. All right, we're still hearing some background noise. Sorry, something's too far. All right, we'll play around with the audio. If you can, please mute. And then there will be a survey at the end that will be provided in the chat box. So thank you again for your time. A lot of great resources ahead of us, and I'd like to go ahead and introduce you to Jill.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. As Katie mentioned, as you are all joining the call, please mute your microphones. We greatly appreciate that. Want to understand everybody's got busy schedules today and want to be able to make sure that we stay within our time frame and give you all the information that you need about our resources. So thank you for taking care of that and muting those phones, computer audios. So again, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jill. I'm the Executive Director of America's Tooth Fairy. And if someone I think is dialing in, that's phone back noise.
Otherwise, you are in the meeting now.
Make sure everyone can hear about all the resources.
Jill, I'm going through it and muting everyone in just a moment, and then sorry about that. Trying to catch everyone that maybe not be on mute.
Katie, shall we go ahead and get started now? I think we...
Yes. Let me just... Yes, please go ahead. Thank you, Jill.
Great. So for those of you who didn't hear, hello everyone. My name is Jill Malmgren, Executive Director of America's Tooth Fairy, National Children's Oral Health Foundation. We are here today to share some turnkey solutions and community resources to make it easy for you to implement your community oral health program. Now, before I get started, I want to quickly introduce some members of our team that will also be talking with you today. They include Robin Van, our National Programs Manager, Joe Jass, our Orange County Oral Health Zone Manager.
Hi, everyone.
And Matilda Gabriela, our Oral Health Zone Manager in Los Angeles.
Good morning, everybody.
So to give you a little background about America's Tooth Fairy, we believe that every child deserves a healthy smile. And in order to do that, we provide critical resources to nonprofit dental clinics and community partners to increase access to oral health care and education. We were established in 2006, and we are guided by a board of directors and scientific advisory board comprised of academic leaders, business leaders, and respected clinicians. We have been operating, certainly in California, had programming active in California since 2010. And today I'm going to ask Matilde Gabriela to start talking to you a little bit about some of the big milestones that have recently happened there. Matilde?
Good morning, everyone. This is Matilde. Here in Southern California, over 650 stakeholders have been trained to educate their communities about oral health. We've awarded scholarships and support work-based program encouraging careers in dentistry. That includes seniors from Los Angeles LAUSD School District were recipients of $500 to $1,000 scholarships to use in pursuit of their dental careers. We have also launched bilingual campaign for National Dental Hygiene Month, earning more than 6 million impressions on popular blogs, radio, online, and television media outlets. We've provided also critical training and educational materials to help the Los Angeles Unified School District meet the kindergarten oral health assessment mandate, which included training over 40 Healthy Start coordinators of the LAUSD program, who are in turn training children from kindergarten through 3rd grade and help the families meet their kindergarten mandate.
As well as the accomplishments Matilde has mentioned, our programming targeted the access to care issue. We have identified and raised visibility to underutilized clinics in our zone, such as the Assistance League dental clinics. Many are happy to take overflow patients from overworked providers, and most are very easily accessible to our families and offer many needed services. The last group bulleted has been an amazing source of assistance and outreach. Our education materials are so user-friendly that I've been able to build a large volunteer force to spread the prevention message. As we move on to the next slide, you'll see it gives quite an overview of a lot of our partners. We have traditional, non-traditional, a couple that I always like to highlight. I connected with ONE-OC, which led to a meeting with some of the executives from Synchrony Bank. They held a smile drive, which you'll hear more about a little later on, collecting oral health hygiene products. Then they requested a training with our education kit and made their own connection to the local Boys and Girls Club. They then provided the oral hygiene supplies and then did oral health education for about 200 students, all on their own. Another one of my favorites is the Pretend City Children's Museum. They've made oral health education a priority in their health and development mission. They utilize our education kit, our 101 kit, and especially myself and the college students, high school volunteers that I use. We love participating in their health days. And then annually, we've been able to reach thousands with our prevention message. And Matilde, do you want to highlight a couple out of there too?
Yes, one of the key partnerships in LA have helped build on collaborative efforts such as LAUSD School District Nurse, along with LA Trust, a nonprofit, working together with us in training students in oral hygiene and working with dentists for Flora Varnish program. In addition, another great example is working with Volunteers of America of Greater LA, a nonprofit where we recently trained 200 Head Start teachers of their program in oral health education as they incorporate additional lessons on oral health as part of their curriculum.
And then moving on to our next slide, these are some more of our traditional partners. We have our dental clinic resource program, which you'll hear a little bit more about also. And then on to the next slide.
Development of partnerships and training for Los Angeles stakeholders have been made possible in part in support of our Delta Dental.
Thank you, Matilde and Joe. I appreciate you sharing information about some of the highlights of our California programming. Just a word to everyone participating today, we will be showing some links and contact email addresses. If you are unable to capture them as the slide goes by, please don't worry. We will send a follow-up email with that information in it. But now I'd like to introduce Robin Van, our National Programs Manager, to talk to you about the variety of resources that you'll find useful in implementing your community oral health program.
Thanks, Jill. Good morning again, everyone. As you've probably noticed, a core value at America's Tooth Fairy is that all community stakeholders have an opportunity to influence the oral health outcomes of the children in their communities. Our resources, which you may have reviewed prior to today's webinar, are designed to empower not only community members with a dental background to provide outreach, but also to empower those of us that do not possess a dental background to go out confidently and positively influence our communities. That's why Joe and Matilde have been able to connect with so many different organizations in the Southern California area. So today I will walk you through some of the resources that are available to support your county's individual oral health objectives. We've reserved some time at the end to answer any questions that you may have on the materials. So with that said, let's get started. So many of the materials that I will present to you can be used to enact the strategy of train the trainer in your community. We know that your resources are very limited, particularly our most valuable resource, which is our time. The train the trainer model allows an individual or a few people at your site to activate additional educators in your community using the same resources and as important, the same messages. These educators can return to their individual networks where they have established trust and established relationships and increase awareness there about the importance of oral health and educate children and caregivers on how to care for their mouth. In fact, parents can be trained with our resources to teach other parents. Students can be trained to teach their peers or even younger students. And we've even seen non-medical professionals trained to provide their patients with oral health messages. The reality is the possibilities are endless. Our community education kit there we go. Our community education kit, as seen in the picture on the screen, is paramount for this. Before I walk you through the kit, Joe, I'd love for you to share how you've been able to implement Train the Trainer in your county and surrounding region to reach additional children and caregivers.
Thanks, Robin. Back to my slide here. I just very briefly, as you can see in the very middle of the Venn diagram, it was just me. I'm the only one in this in the oral health zone when I started. As you can see, I started as one person, and then each training built another level of volunteers to take on the prevention and programming into the community. So it just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. And that's just very briefly how it's worked. And I'll go back to you, Robin, to go on to the rest of our kit.
Absolutely. So the community education kit, or the Tooth Fairy 101 community education kit, is a comprehensive, durable tool designed with guidance by our foundation's scientific advisory board to educate children, teens, and caregivers. In a recent independent evaluation of the community education kit, it was determined that the kit yielded increases in oral health knowledge for children and adults exposed to these educational materials. As seen, the kit includes a double-sided magnetic display board. So it's the tooth on one side, the tooth has the magnets on it in this picture, and the mouth on the other side. In addition to the display board, the kit comes with magnets and a giant oversized toothbrush. And to supplement the kit, educators are provided with scripted lessons on topics including oral hygiene, germ transmission prevention, nutrition, prenatal and infant oral care, biofilm control, tobacco, and much, much more. All of our lessons are now available for trainers in both English and Spanish. And for those of you who are interested in measuring the impact of your presentations, we have pre and post tests that are also available for early elementary, upper elementary, middle high school, and adult learners. Additional materials that America's Tooth Fairy offers are activity sheets. We have two target populations for these activity sheets. Half are for the pre-K to second grade learners, and then we have some for the 3rd grade to 5th grade learners. All of the activity sheets have an oral health focus to reinforce your messaging. Brushing charts are available to track oral hygiene practices in the home, and oral care products are also available. An all too common barrier that we have seen, and unfortunately I'm sure it's something that you have seen as well, is a child unable to implement the instructions given to them at a presentation because of the absence of a toothbrush or maybe their own toothbrush in the home. So we do have oral care products that are available in some of the resource packages that Jill will outline for you in a moment. Additional handouts that are available include our oral health care tips from the Tooth Fairy. This one-page document has positive messages for children and caregivers. You'll see messages like reminding children and parents, we know they have a lot on their plate when they first arrive, that all children should see a dentist by the age of 1. You'll see reminders about when to get a new toothbrush. In addition, we are now able to offer tips for infant oral health care, tips for the family, where you'll find messages for babies, toddlers, teens, and adults. And we also have tips available in Spanish, Korean, Chinese, Canadian French, Hmong, Arabic, Marshallese, Somali, and Vietnamese. If you have any languages in your community that you do not see listed here, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We're happy to speak with you about additional translation opportunities. As previously mentioned, we do have pre and post tests for the kits, and those two are available now in English and Spanish. There are a few additional resources that I would like to share with you. The first is our Smile Drive program. I'm really excited to share this with you. Our Smile Drive program started as a February campaign for National Children's Dental Health Month to not only secure oral care products for children in our communities that need them, but also as an opportunity to increase local awareness about the importance of children's oral health. People are surprised. None of you on this webinar would be surprised, but there are people in your community that are surprised to learn that there are children that do not have a toothbrush in their home. And so this can be a great public campaign to build that awareness. And though the Smile Drive can be held any time of the year, your county may opt to utilize it as a public campaign for National Children's Dental Health Month. It's similar to a canned food drive. A Smile Drive is a collection drive that aims to secure toothbrushes. You can see that we've collected quite a few. To secure toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, and rinse for local children. It's an opportunity, again, to engage your whole community to support the services that you deliver on a day-to-day basis. In fact, as you've seen in these pictures, last year participants included scouts, students at all levels of their studies, hygienists, retail businesses, including gyms, banks, and restaurants, police and fire departments, and many, many, many other community stakeholders. The participation of the whole community is why it's been so successful. And we encourage you to have some fun with the Smile Drive. You can see in the pictures that people have really had fun with their Smile Drives. We've seen Smile Drive hosts dress up as the Tooth Fairy to collect oral care products. We've seen friendly competitions, emphasis on friendly competitions between departments to see who would collect the most. And then we have some national contests in our home office that we invite you all to participate in to win some prizes and really, and most importantly, make a difference for the children in your community. Since 2014, Smile Drive participants have collected over 1.8 million oral care products, which have provided significant budget relief to the recipients. The important point here is that all products collected stay in that community. Your department or whoever hosts the Smile Drive can identify who will be the recipient of the products collected in the Smile Drive. In fact, they can be donated to the health department. They can be donated to a dental clinic, schools, or really any nonprofit organization connected to children. Frequent recipients include after-school care programs, homeless shelters, food pantries, anywhere that we can connect with those children that need these resources is a great opportunity for you to donate these oral care products. We have a step-by-step guide available for you on how to host the Smile Drive. The packet provides tips for a fantastic drive, ideas for who to donate products to, flyers and posters that can be customized, a press release that you can use, and ways for you to connect with other Smile Drivers on social media. So I hope you all have had the opportunity at some point to meet Joe. It seems like everyone I bump into in the Southern California area particularly has connected with Joe in some capacity. But if you ask Joe what her role is, she always says she's the Orange County connector. So Joe, I'd love to toss it to you for a second to show how, to see if you can share how you've been able to engage dental hygiene students through the Smile Drive and how you've been able to connect their Smile Drive collections to impact others in your community.
Thanks, Robin. Here's one of my favorite Smile Drive photos. This is the Concord College registered dental hygienist students. They love to top the previous class in collecting their supplies, and they, as you can see, have a great time doing it. This is their 4th year. They even make YouTube videos to promote their drive. This year, they were recognized by the Dental Hygiene Society nationally for their efforts. This year, they chose to distribute their products to the students, children that are attending their free clinics. Since we started working with them, they've now instituted 2 or 3 more free clinics that they're doing for the public. And those products were used for that, and as well as basically delivering them to the motel children living in the area, all underserved. So it's been a great, great addition to what I do, and I just love working with our students all across the board. I'll give it back.
Fantastic, Joe. So the final piece I will share with you today is our Scout Patch program. One of the groups that we have found most eager to provide oral health outreach has been the Scout groups, both Boys and Girl Scouts. Through the Patch program, Scouts can lead projects such as providing education to younger children, studying oral health beliefs, or hosting a Smile Drive to earn an Oral Health Action Hero patch. Participation in the Patch program raises awareness and promotes positive oral health behaviors for our Scouts. Patches are available in quantities of 100. As well, we do have project guidebooks available, which would outline the steps that Scouts would need to take in order to earn an Oral Health Action Hero patch. So I know we've covered a lot in a very short period of time, but I will now turn it over to Jill to discuss how you can receive these materials. And then again, we've reserved some time at the end. If you have any questions about any of these resources, we are happy to answer them for you. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Robin. Again, what we know we've showed you a great deal of resources today. So what we've done is kind of put them together in different packages, again, to make it real easy for you to get the training you need and get the resources that you need in a turnkey oral health solution for your community. I'm going to start with our custom in-person training package, again, available in English and Spanish. This is an oral health train the trainer module at the 5,000 per county specified location. This, again, of course, has been utilized to equip health professionals, volunteers, students, and community stakeholders to educate the populations they serve about oral health and really leverage your capabilities and expertise as well. This model has been successfully implemented throughout the country, and in particular in California. As Matilda and Joe referenced earlier, I know just in recent years they've trained over 650 stakeholders in Southern California. The trainings last typically about 2 hours, and they can be modified to suit the needs of the participating agencies or organizations. So the 2-hour on-site training it also includes 5 Tooth Fairy 101 community education kits, handouts for 100 attendees, printed packages of 5 core lessons for trainers. So that those 5 core lessons are scripted lessons, again, ideal for those with or without a dental background that cover a wide variety of topics relevant to the populations you're reaching. Access to monthly webinars, and access to our Smile Drive toolkit and how to implement Smile Drives in your community as well for both trainers and attendees. The next resource packages that we have to offer, these are specifically just kits alone. So if you saw the kit, would really like to just have the kit, we've got those in different increments. Again, each package includes the magnetic board, the magnets, giant toothbrush, tips from the Tooth Fairy, and then access to our scripted lessons, activity sheets, and pre and post tests via our website. So we have those separated out in increments of 20, 50, and 100, all shipped to one specific location. And then the next package is geared towards serving about 1,000 children. At the $5,000 level, it includes coloring and activity books, 500 for the pre-K through 2nd grade, 500 for 3rd through 5th grade, tips for the Tooth Fairy, toothbrushing charts to distribute, 1,000 oral care kits containing toothbrushes and toothpaste, our HERO, which is our Health Education Resources and Outreach Program Guide. So that's going to give guidance on oral health projects that scouts may want to do, students may want to do, or other volunteers in your community, posters for your facility and elsewhere in the community, community education kit, and then of course access to our online portal with all of our scripted lessons and resources there, technical assistant from our team via phone and email, as well as access to our monthly informational webinars that will focus on specific aspects of usage of our resources, also educating specific audiences on the importance of oral health and of course oral hygiene techniques and its relationship to overall systemic health. Also includes shipping to one specified location. Our resource package B is geared towards 2,000 children, so same items that I indicated before in our resource package A, just a higher amount to accommodate the 2,000 children. And then we also have a package understanding that really to impact this issue is through early intervention. I'm sure I am singing to the choir to those of you on this call. So we do offer intervention kits for pregnant mothers and infant caregivers. So infant toothbrush, adult toothbrush, washcloth for wiping out the baby's mouth, printed educational materials with oral health tips for mother and baby, dry erase magnet with tips and appointment reminder for both mother and baby. These kits are designed to reinforce the importance of oral health care for both the caregiver and the child, and also encourage that dental visit by age 1 and to help them understand the important role baby teeth play in a child's development. As Robin indicated earlier, we do offer our materials in a wide array of languages. We do have listed here what's available. Of course, our tips are already available in a number of languages, as well as our trifolds. However, we would happily get items translated if you need them in alternative languages. So just reach out to programs@ncuhf.org to connect with us on that. And don't worry, I'll show you that email address momentarily. And so that we can look into getting a quote for you for the materials that you wish to be translated. So to order our resources, we will have at the bottom there, we will have an order form. And the order form's really easy. As you can see, it's just gonna ask for some basic information, your location, of course, address, phone, email, and then you'll select what you want, and then also outlining any additional needs, including translation. We do ask that you place your orders by November 30th in order to receive all the products by February 1st, 2019. We understand that a number of you are planning to get resources to utilize them for February, National Children's Dental Health Month. So in order to provide them to you by that time, we just ask that you reach out to us by November 30th so that we can get those orders processed. They'll be processed on a first come, first served basis until supplies last. And of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to programs@ncuhf.org. So thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate your time today. Know we've given you a lot of information to process. But again, we will send a follow-up email with any relevant links as far as to order. Of course, our contact email address for questions and further information on the resources we've outlined in the presentation for you today.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Jill. Again, a lot of great information and things that we can be using in our local oral health programs. So thank you to America's Tooth Fairy, and thank you for presenting. We do have questions. So now we're going to enter into the question and answer session. So if you guys have questions, please put them in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. So the first question is going to be, are there any resource kits available for less than 1,000 children? For example, 500 children.
Yes, we can certainly connect with you on that. That would be a great thing to maybe just reach out via email to the programs@ncuhf.org to indicate the quantity that you're looking for.
Another question from Jen Resler in Sacramento County. You said earlier that we'd provide a follow-up email with links. How soon can we expect that? This is great, by the way.
Absolutely. I would think within the next 24 hours. So Katie will certainly make sure that you have that draft email with information so that can be sent out to those that are on the call. Katie, is that reasonable to you as well?
Yes, we can send an email out by the end of the day.
Okay, perfect.
We'll include the slides, and also Jill can provide the resource document. It's a 1-page, and it's going to include a breakdown of the packages that were reviewed in the presentation today. And we'll also be including a survey, because we do want to know if this is something helpful that you would like to have again. Because we do in time we want to hear more from what you guys are doing in your local oral health programs so we can connect the resources to the need.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, Katie, I'll turn that back to you unless you see any other questions.
Okay, well, at this time, we'd like to open it up to the whole group. We do have one question here. We have Caitlin Pierce in San Joaquin. Can we hear a bit more about the Scout Patch program and how this program works?
This has been a really popular program. It's definitely a favorite. Outlined with the Scout Patch program. Like I said, we've got people implementing that all over the country. But essentially, the Scouts have to follow, I think they have to fulfill 3 different projects that are outlined in a guide for them. It does include the Smile Drive as well. And then they do need to submit some pictures and information on the outcome of their projects. Robin, did I forget anything about that Scout Patch program? It's very easy for them, very easy to operate in the community, and I think that's why it's just been so widely loved by groups all across the country.
Absolutely. This year, we have a hero theme for all of our programs. It's actually an acronym: Health, Education, Resources, and Outreach. And so we've been able to use that to put together a Scout Patch guide showing Scouts how they can become a hero in their communities by completing 3 levels to become an oral health action hero. And so they have a couple projects that they can select at each level. There's an opportunity at level 1 for them to learn more about beliefs in their community, so they can go, for example, and interview people about their oral hygiene habits. There is an opportunity at level 2 of the Scout Patch program for the Scouts to take action and implement some of the information that they learned in level 1 in their community. So we may see them educating younger children as part of level 2 in the Scout Patch program. And on the 3rd level of their service, we ask them to hold a smile drive. It's fantastic if they collect, let's say, 100 toothbrushes and donate it to an organization in their community, maybe a health department that has a need for toothbrushes. And so once they complete those 3 steps, they are able to earn the Scout Patch or the Merit Patch. So it's quite simple. We have a complete guide that if that's something that you choose that you would like to implement in your community, we can provide you with the guide. And of course, we're here for technical assistance if you need help getting it started and off the ground.
Great, thank you, Robin. We do have a question on, can we get images of the materials included in the pregnancy kit?
Oh, certainly, yes, absolutely. That could be something if you want to reach out to programs@n2hf.org. I can email you kind of PDF images of the items in the kit, and that might be easiest, or we could maybe do a follow-up with just information specifically on that particular resource package.
Right. So are you saying that we can hold webinars that we could be more specific to areas? Because I know America's Tooth Fairy, you have so many programs that you guys run and resources you can provide. If there was a topic of interest, could we hold a webinar on that topic?
Absolutely, absolutely.
We do have a question from Elena. Can you clarify the difference between a 20 kit and a 50 kit?
I think you're referring to the community education, the Tooth Fairy 101 community education kit packages. So what that is just there is 20 of the kits in that $2,000 package and 50 in the other one. And so each of those kits, and if you'll bear with me, I can kind of go back through. This shows kind of the materials that are in each kit. So the double-sided magnetic board, the giant toothbrush, although that's not shown here, of course, all the magnets. So it would be, 20 of the magnetic boards with the associated materials in the first package, and then 50 in the next one, and then so on and so forth.
And then Hernandez has a question. Can we purchase just the Tooth Fairy 101 community education kit?
Can you order just the Tooth Fairy 101 community education kit?
Yes.
We do currently offer them in increments. So, but I'd be happy to connect with my team and reach out to you on ways to get, if you're just interested in a smaller number of kits. I'm certain we can work that out.
Do we have any more questions for the chat box? All right, so we'd like to go ahead and open the discussion to the group. So if you have a question, we'd like to, maybe talk through it a little bit more and hear from you. I'm going to unmute everyone, and we're going to see what that sounds like. This is our first time doing this, so please bear with us. We have about 70 people on the call. So if we do get a lot of background noise, then I'll go ahead and mute everyone. And then if you could write in the chat box, we can unmute only you. Just one moment. I'm going to unmute everyone. Okay. So does anyone have any questions they would like to talk about?
So one thing I'd certainly be happy to encourage you, if you do have any questions about the resources or breakdowns that were outlined in this presentation, There was a couple, certainly about, can we get it available for 500 kids instead of 1,000, or ordering maybe, smaller increments of the community education kit. Just reach out to us at that programs at ncuhf.org with those questions. So for the purposes of this call, we put together kind of those larger packages in anticipation that there was going to be a stronger need for a more community-wide program. Certainly, if there is interest in other increments, we're happy to talk to you about those and do our best to accommodate you where possible.
All right, great. Well, thank you everyone so much for your time today. It's been really valuable. And, thank you to Jill and your team with America's Tooth Fairy for what you're doing with the community and all the health promotion that you encourage and you support. So we are going to be sending out a follow-up email today. Again, thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, please reach out to America's Tooth Fairy or UCSF Technical Assistance Center.
Everyone.
Thank you.